Hey guys and girls, it's Miss Annette. I have some more book reviews I'd like to share with you because we've gotten so many books in here since even since I last shared books with you, and I think that was a couple months ago. So I wanted to share with you some more new books so that you could either call and get our curbside service or you could come by between 10 and 2 Monday through Friday. Now, the first book I probably don't even need to tell you about. Lots of people are checking them out. Here, I'm going to take this off. It's called Unicorn Diaries. If you have read Owl Diaries by Rebecca Elliott, you will love these. They are in our emerging reader section. It's second and third grader books, kind of beginning chapter books. You will love this. I would have loved this when I was younger. This first book is called Beau's Magical New Friend. And the pictures in here are the unicorns swimming. They're cute little fairy gardens that they spend time in. Here they are playing. This one sneezes glitter. Every unicorn in the story has a special talent or a special gift. And so they all get along really well. There's a new unicorn that one of our main friends wants to learn to she wants to learn to be friends with them, and his name is Sunny. And Sunny doesn't know what his main talent is, and Beau really wants to help him with that. So that is the story of Beau's Magical New Friend, and it is not too hard to read, and it's got great pictures inside, so I recommend it. And we're going to have to get a few more. They've just started writing these. The next book I have is in that same section. It's in our beginning chapter books, second, third grade. This is called Fort Builders, Inc. By Dee Ramito. It's called The Birthday Castle. These 4 boys and girls get an idea. It starts with a boy named Caleb to build forts out of boxes because they need some money. They need some pocket change. So they begin their project by making their own fort first. And then once they decide to advertise and market and build a fort, they get their first customer. She wants to have a fort made for her birthday. She wants a pink castle with a drawbridge. And so they find out as they're making this that it's a little bit harder to run a business than you think it would be. Along the way, they meet another friend who can help them plan how to do it. Her mother's an architect. And this book, the neat thing about it is there's a word list in the back that teaches you what the big words mean. And there's also a set of questions. And we have a lot of parents asking, what books have questions in the back to have my child think more about the story? And this one does have that, and it even has a STEM activity, how to build a drawbridge in your own cardboard box. So I liked this one. This was a good beginning chapter book. Next, I want to share this book with you. It is called Kid Activists, and it is written by Robin Stevenson, and there's illustrations by Allison Steinfeld. This book I like because it has pictures as well. Here's a picture of some women who voted for the first time. It's at the end of the chapter about Susan B. Anthony, and 100 years ago, Susan B. Anthony won the right for women to vote. And at that time, after she died and women could vote for the very first time, 8 million American women voted. And she did not give up on making that happen. She believed that women should have a right to have their say in the government. So, and a lot of people don't realize that was this year was 100 years that happened ago. There's also people like Frederick Douglass, who fought for freedom, for slavery. There's people like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. There's Malala, who fought for education, where she lived in Pakistan. And the Taliban tried to stop her, and they couldn't. There are lots of inspiring stories, and I learned a lot. There's people that I did not know about that are in this book. So you could get this book. There's Nelson Mandela and Alexander Hamilton. You could get this book and read 1 or 2 chapters, or you could get this book and read them all if you'd like. But it's a great read. I think you'd enjoy it, and you'd learn a lot. I learned a lot just from parts that I read. All right. Now, this one is in nonfiction. And of course, and so is this. This is a poetry book. It's called Book Joy, Word Joy, and it is by Pat Mora. Pat Mora writes these really neat poems, and I'm going to read you the first one because I really like it. And you'll see why in a minute. It's called Books and Me. We belong together, books and me, like toast and jelly. O queso y tortillas. Delicious, delicioso. Like flowers and bees, birds and trees, books and me. And there is a girl enjoying her book outside with the flowers and the trees and the bees. There's many more not chapters, but poems about, here's one called Library Magic, about books and writing and the love of words. So this is a great choice. It's not too long, and you'll learn some new poems while enjoying the illustrations by Raoul Colon. Now, the last 3 books I want to share with you are fiction books. The first one I chose is called Dead Voices. And that sounds so scary, and that's why I picked it. This was in October. And the author of Goosebumps says it's terrifying and fun, so I wanted to try it. This book is the second in a series, but I have not read the first. The first is called Small Spaces. Dead Voices is the story of 3 friends who travel to a ski resort with their parents. And when they get there, they check in, and it's just snowing. And so they find they're snowed in. They're kind of trapped. And as the time goes on, they discover that this ski resort used to be an orphanage, and scary things happen there. And they meet some ghosts. They meet some children that used to live there, and the power goes out, and it does get pretty scary. I liked it. It scared me, but it didn't scare me too badly. It has a good mystery in it. Catherine Arden has written a book for adults, and so this, I think, is her second book for kids that's kind of got some scariness in it. So, Dead Voices, if you want to be scared, pretty good read. This book caught my attention because of the cover. It's called Show Me a Sign, and it is by Anne Claire Lizotte. She writes about a girl who lived on Martha's Vineyard, which is up on the coast up north. And her great-great-grandfather was an early English settler, and he was the first islander who was deaf. A lot of people descended from him, and they all were deaf as well. So a lot of the people can communicate in sign language in this island. But, which makes Mary, who also speaks in sign language, very comfortable. But something happens, and a young scientist comes. And Mary happens to see one of his notes, and it says he needs a live specimen. And we're like, what is a specimen? He's looking for a person who can't hear. And so Mary gets caught up kind of in this adventure, and it helps you realize people have different types of ways of communicating, and we need to respect everybody the way they are. So this is a really good book. I liked it. Show me a sign. My last one I want to share with you is called Wink. And I can't wink. But this boy named this book Wink. His name is Rob Harrell. This kind of happened to him, even though it's fiction. He is in middle school and he's diagnosed with a rare type of cancer. The cancer happens in your eye. So he has to get goo to put in his eye. He has to go through a machine that kind of focuses on his eye to put radiation in it to cure it or to clear the cancer. So he ends up wearing weird hats because he kind of loses his hair, and he ends up having a winking eye. But that sounds very sad, and it is. He has a hard time, but he has a funny way of viewing things. And so he draws pictures. He has a hero that he calls Bat Pig. There's Bat Pig versus the hat. And he draws a little cartoon and talks about his struggles. And he does a great job adjusting, because it sounds like a tough thing to have to go through. And it is a tough thing to have to go through, especially in middle school. But it was a great book, and I felt encouraged by it. So I hope that you'll check this one out as well. Thank you for joining me, and I'm going to have some more books after this that some friends have shared with me, and you can find out more about those books if you'll just watch and come and check some out. Thank you very much for watching.